Hello, once again, this is Jeff McFeeters, landscape and travel photographer from Lawrence, Kansas. Today's quick tip is brought to you thanks to a good friend in the cohort that I belong to in the Arcanum, the Magical Academy of Artistic Mastery. If you're curious about that, you can look that up at thearcanum.com. Jim Nutty, one of the apprentices in the Arcanum, hosted a Google Hangout yesterday in which he, I think along with David Heim, demonstrated some architectural photography tips, how-tos, ideas with their work. And it frankly was eye-opening to me in many areas, but I really had to thank Jim for this tip towards the end of the Hangout. He demonstrated this with one of his images, and what he did was something similar to this, where we have a line in the image, and we're pretty happy with our editing, but we're not real happy with how we set the shot up in camera, and we have this line exiting here kind of at an awkward spot, and this one here not even quite meeting that one, and so it just looks like somebody wasn't thinking about that, which I'm guilty of that often. So here's how to recover from that faux pas. Let me duplicate my layer here, so I've got a copy to work with. We come up here to the crop tool, which you all probably know, and you click and hold, and there is the perspective crop tool. What is that really? What it does is it gives you a different cursor. You see a little crosshairs with like a little selection area beside it. That means we can click and hold and drag over the image for a selection. I'm just going to select the whole image. Now we get this grid pattern, which is really handy because that helps us see where our lines are and verticals and horizontals, and this is really helpful in architectural kinds of images. Let's zoom in down here and I'll hold the space bar so I get my little hand to drag this up. And what you do is you come into the area where you wish that this line here was down here. In other words, what you really wish is that this bottom of the image was running slightly cattywampus up to here. So you just click and hold on a corner, drag this up, and you can see your lines kind of staying parallel. And so you do something about like that. And that looks good. If you click the crop tool, you get the little click on it, you get the little crop the image question. Don't crop, cancel, or crop. If you just double click, it just applies it. And that's what we did. So now I did leave a little bit of spot here. And the reason in this case is because I did want to crop some from the bottom, because I have a little bit of place here where this column hits the pavement here, and there's this little indent here, and I would rather that not be here. So now I can just go to the standard crop tool, click that, and drag this up to get that line in the corner. And there we go. Okay, now that is a very simple way. It's, nothing else is really noticeably changed, even though it's slightly skewed the entire image. As long as it's a minor adjustment, you're not going to see anything really change out in here much. And we can check that by, if you pick your selection tool and go to the ruler, you can click and hold and drag these lines, blue lines in to see where things are lining up to make sure that that looks okay. And you can do the same thing from the top. You can come down here and take a look and see that it's not too bad. I think I shot this with a 17-40 in portrait orientation, so there's a little bit of a lens aberration, and most of that was probably fixed in Lightroom automatically, but it couldn't fix this problem because it was the user error, not the lens error. Okay, now I'm going to show you one more real quick tip since this didn't take very long. Here's another way to use this tool. It's a very typical landscape where you shot it with a wide angle. You're down below, you tilt the wide angle lens up to get everything in, and what happens is that wide angle causes things further up from you to be pushed back. When you're tilting up, then the top, there's kind of a plane here that's getting pushed back into the image, and we're used to seeing that. You could just say that's fine. There are certainly lens correction tools that can fix a lot of this, but this perspective crop tool might be one you want to consider. Again, here's how I would use it in this case. I would just simply grab the tool, select the image, and you see the lines. You kind of see these should be straight, right? And these should be straight. Now, if you push it all the way into here, you see that this is exaggerated more on the edges in the middle. So be careful. I'll show you really what happens if you try to get perfect and get everything just perfect. It won't look right. Okay? Show you. See it? It looks exaggerated. It doesn't look right. All right, so let's get back to where we were. We'll go up to history, go back to the duplicate layer level, and drag once again. This time I suggest, kind of like we do with layers, a lot of times we make an adjustment and then we set opacity at 50%. Go back here to about where you think it should be, and then just come back about halfway. Same thing over here. Go take this over to where you think it looks like it would be straightening, and then just kind of come back about halfway. Got that? Press OK. And there, that's looking a little bit better. Now you could tweak that a little bit more if you wanted, but this does give it a kind of sense that you're looking up, and it does have a little bit of that perspective. Again, in an image like this, you might say, well, I want to do my standard crop and bring this down into something more pleasing, like this. Bring this up in here. And voila. All right, so that's two simple uses for the perspective crop tool. If you've never used it, you probably have some architecture that you've shot, and you may feel free to go out and experiment. If you have any questions or comments, post them below, or access my website at jeffmcpheeters.com, or feel free to follow me on Facebook. Just look for Jeff McPheeters, and Google+, Jeff McPheeters, 500px, Flickr. I'm easy to find. So look forward to hearing from you, and until next time, make it a great day and get out and shoot.